Moving on to the strategic marketing call, Rich tackles a common quandary in MYM marketing. How long should the marketing copy be? You have to interrupt, engage, educate, and give the offer in every ad. Are we talking pages? Should our copy read like a Crichton novel? I'm going to let Rich handle the answer. Suffice it to say, though, important and relevant. Number 8.
Let's look at one last concept, which is this argument of long copy versus short copy. And this is something that comes up quite a bit. I've addressed this on previous calls, and here's my rule of thumb for long copy versus short copy. How much information does the prospect need to be in control of the decision? Probably would need more information about a computer than a stick of gum. Here's the rule of thumb. There's no such thing as long copy or short copy. There's only relevant and important copy versus non-relevant and non-important copy. There's interesting and there's non-interesting. This is sort of subjective, and you kind of have to think through it, and if you're not quite sure, you always have the backup of sending it over to MYM for us to take a look at it. But a lot of times we see this, especially in the quote-unquote copywriting circles. People say, well, you've got to put a ton of copy to convince people, and we sure know that there's a time and a place for lots of copy. One good place to have lots of copy is in a Yellow Pages ad. Why? Because people are ready to make a decision, and you better outcompete everybody else that's on the other pages. But let's not take a rule and say you always have to have lots of copy. Are there times that are appropriate? Yes. Are there times that are inappropriate? Yes. You'll see plenty of ads in the MYM arsenal that have, and that feature, relatively few words, perhaps more pictures, and have an information kit or an information guide that might be available that has more words. But in many cases, it's not even necessary to use a lot of words. We just completed an entire library of marketing pieces for the closet organization industry. We're working with the National Closet Group and put together an entire marketing library, and the vast majority of the ads that we put together for them do not have a lot of words on them. They just don't. Let me read you a few of them. Here's one that says, the following images are for demonstration purposes only. And then there's two pictures of two guys that have jeans on only and no shirts. Now, it might sound a little weird, but if you see this ad, you would understand. The first one shows a guy, let's put it this way, he's probably every bit of $3 bills. He's got a huge belly, and there's an arrow that says how your stuff fits in your closet now, and then the other picture on the right shows a different guy who's got the six-pack going, and it says, and after installing a closet organizer. Now, not a lot of words on this. Underneath that, there's 4 square pictures of nice closets, so people see what we're talking about, and then a subheadline that says, we agree, the second one is better, referring, of course, to the guy with the six-pack abs. Then there are 6 bullet points, and 6 only. Double the amount of hanging space, no more wasted corner space, quit piling your shoes on the floor, beautiful built-in drawers, a unique spot for every single item, costs a lot less than you think. There's not a lot of text here. Here's another ad that says, tired of digging for stuff in your closet, and there's a huge picture of a very messy closet. We have the same ad for a garage, and instead, of course, it has a picture of a garage. Here's an interesting ad that uses very few words, but it uses them in large fonts. This ad at the bottom where it has a coupon for a free guide only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It only has 6 words in the entire ad. Now, these 6 words are written in such a format that it fills the entire ad, and here's what it says, and you have to understand these words are huge on the page, and they actually flow off the page just a touch to the left and to the right, and it says, cluttered, crowded, stuffed, crammed, closet, suck. 6 words. Here's another picture of a closet with a bunch of hangers, with a bunch of kind of not uniform, multicolored. Some of the hangers are kind of pointing up. Some of them are sort of pointing down. Some of them don't have anything on them. The clothes aren't super neat. And this picture on an 8.5 by 11 ad fills up, let's see, it's 11 inches tall. It fills up, I guess, 9.5 inches is just this picture of these hangers with these clothes that are sort of gangly looking. And underneath it, there's a headline that says, seriously, it's time to do something about your closet. And then right above that, on the bottom right-hand corner of the photo, is the offer for the free guide. That's it. These are not huge ads with tons of text in this situation. Okay, long copy versus short copy. Now, did I just tell you we don't need a lot of copy. No, I said we need to look at the situation. Here's another ad for closets. It's got two pictures prominently displayed at the top. There's a lot of white space, and there's a picture that's about 2 inches tall by 2 inches wide. It says what you get under it, and then on the right, there's another picture, and it says what you pay for. Well, the one on the left is a picture of caviar, shrimp, and sushi, what you get, and on the other one, it's a bowl of beans and franks, what you pay for. And then there's a headline under that that says, get a caviar closet system on a beans and frank budget. Then it's got some pictures, small, of closets, and then it's got those same 6 bullet items. So, point being, you don't have to have 5 tons of words in the ads. Just one more by way of description. There's one that has the opposite of the previous one I just talked about. It has, let's see, just a picture of a bunch of hangers holding some shirts. But these hangers are very organized. They're all the same type. They're all facing the same way, and it looks very orderly. It's very nice, but it's a close-up. It's essentially the same shot as the messy closet, but it's a very neat closet. And there's a headline above it that says, eliminate closet clutter. And the word clutter is in huge. It just jumps off the page. It's so big. And then this large picture. So all things considered, I'm just giving you some examples of things that don't have to have 950,000 words per page. Some things we're going to put more words on the page. I'll show you some examples of a master letter that has lots of words on the page.
So, did he make the answer obvious? It is never a question of whether you need long copy or short copy. The question is what I'm putting into this marketing piece important and relevant to John Smith? Consider where he is on the educational spectrum. Is there a lot he wants to hear, or just a little?